Good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in internet world. Welcome to another edition of Golden Independence, where we talk about getting free, right? Yes, assets only. And what is the number one asset of this lifetime cycle? It's Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. If any one of you have caught up with the Abu Dhabi conference, if any of you were there, you heard a little excerpt from Mark Morris, right? And Mark Morris, he's not saying this on any other platforms. This is, but what he just said, it is going to come out. It is going to come out. And that is, and like I told you, this information or these numbers are not going to be talked about to the masses early in certain early in certain circles, right? Early in certain circles. Now, Mark Morris said a number in the Abu Dhabi conference, gave a little excerpt to a closed audience. This is why going to Bitcoin conferences is important because people are able to, because you're amongst people who know like-minded individuals, right? So when you're among like-minded individuals and everybody is on the same page, we could get down to the nitty-gritty. We could really discuss things and really see our future. This is why Bitcoin is holding strong, holding firm. And even if it does dip below 100K, you better count that as a blessing. Whenever it dips below 100K, you better consider that a blessing. Because when it was at 20K, it was dipping. When it reached 50K, it was dipping because people bought at 20. All the dipping is shaking out. It's shaking out the people who can't take it anymore, or it's OGs just taking a little bit off the top. It's not hurting them. This is all part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. It's supposed to go down, but guess what? We're not going where people think it's going, which is zero. But how about Mark Morris is mentioning 400 million for one Bitcoin? But of course, this is he's giving this like this is a 30-year-old scheme. You know, he's giving it 30 years. Now 30 years from now, I will be what my data's age is. Yes, where my data is now, and his his strong, his alive, his kicking. So I'm looking forward, by his permission, if I'm allowed to live at my data's age, who's alive right now, and we see how healthcare and health benefits have improved over the years, and it's a big health shift that's going on right now. Just globally, everybody's get since pre-COVID, not pre-COVID, post-COVID. Since post-COVID, people have been on a strong health health kick, being more health conscious, talking about you know certain foods to eat. It's more people out moving, walking, riding, swimming. People are being more active. Yeah, because COVID showed us a lot. So with that in mind, yes, it's important. Be healthy. Because what's the sense of being wealthy if you're not healthy? So when I listen to that number, 400 million in 30 years, and this is from, someone who's been in the game, they're already at the top. They know what's happening. They know the trade and all the technicals, but the technicals don't even matter at this point. The technicals don't even matter. It's straight arithmetic, basic math. That's why there's such a panic and a sense of urgency regarding and excitement, really. This is why I'm posting almost every day with lives because the excitement behind the BitHarvest opportunity and project. Because if you don't know about Bitcoin, you're not even going to understand how powerful BitHarvest is. You know, you will only know how powerful BitHarvest is when you really understand what's going on, what's happening, what is the underlying thing of Bitcoin right here, right now. The amount of millionaires that is about to be created. It this is I've said this before for those who have followed me. It doesn't feel this is not a get rich quick scheme. BitHarvest is not a get rich quick scheme, ladies and gentlemen. But but when with the Bitcoin, with what we're seeing with Bitcoin, with the hyper Bitcoinization, with the FOMO, country FOMO, capital, the capitalistic FOMO, the corporate FOMO, state FOMO, federal FOMO, government FOMO, whatever you want to, with all of these attributes, these global macro things that are happening as we speak. This is why Bitcoin isn't dropping like how it used to drop. It's not experiencing a 90%, 80%, not even a 50% correction. We are not going to see a $50,000 Bitcoin ever. That's gone. That's gone, ladies and gentlemen. You see where we are at 100? We are not going to see 50,000 ever again because the cat is out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. So all that time when Bitcoin was at 50,000 and nobody, oh, it ain't doing nothing. Big Once again, Bitcoin is there as a savings. When you see it at 50,000, you gotta thank the Lord that you're able to save at that level because now all the people that dollar cost averaged, they just 5x, right? All the people that was doing dollar cost averaging at the $50,000 level, then it was fluctuating. It'll go up to 70, they'll come back down to 50. Well, guess what? Some of those people are cashing out as well. But it's very small, ladies and gentlemen. It's very small because it's only 5x. And there's talk about it going to a million. So when these types of moves happen, yes, Bitcoin's gonna crash or not. It's not even crashing. People have a right to at least take out their initial investment at the very least. If somebody put in 10,000 and it at the $50,000 mark, if somebody put up 50,000 of their capital, converted the fiat into into Bitcoin when it was at 50,000, if they took $10,000 and they put it into Bitcoin while it was at 50,000, and now it's at 100,000, right? They've just they've just doubled the money, haven't they? Well, guess what? They could at the very least take out their initial capital investment, possibly a little more gains, and like an extra 5,000 because it's Christmas and all the rest of it. And now they would have just left the 5,000. They would have left the 5,000 as their nest egg. Or look, or now they keep a dollar cost averaging. They keep dollar cost averaging as a savings. Build up, build up the kitty. So when it goes to a million, that's a 10x move. So now the 5,000 becomes 50,000. That's now your 5,000 in Bitcoin becomes 50,000 and you haven't done a thing. Bitcoin goes to 10 million. That same amount of Bitcoin that was once upon a time, it was valued at 5,000. The little nest egg that you got is now worth 500,000. You did absolutely nothing. And of course, by that time, you know, we'll be able to leverage our Bitcoin, where our Bitcoin will be paying our mortgage. The Bitcoin will be paying the mortgage. As long as we add Bitcoin, we keep adding Bitcoin to our balance sheet against the bank, we will be like our own personal Michael Saylors in terms of saying, okay, bank, I want some fiat money, and they'll give us the loan for cheap. It'll be cheap. And we say, we won't start paying the interest until after in 5 years. It'll be a 5-year loan, but we won't start paying the interest after 4 years. We're gonna start paying the interest after 4 years. So we'll tell them, yeah, we'll do a balloon payment. We'll do a balloon payment. Why? Because we know what happens to Bitcoin every 4 years. On top of the fact that Bitcoin is going to be going up at least on average, it's going to be going up like 30% a year. 30%. That's even that's even higher than a credit card, man. Credit card is 22%. No, but that's a month. So if you look at what a bank gives you, for mortgages, even if it's at 6%, you'll be making that balloon payment easy. But yeah, and banks allow you to borrow up to 90% of what the asset is worth. So you could take your 5,000 Bitcoin and borrow up to 90%. Look at that. Wow. Huh? Uh, bar up to 90%. That's that's what's coming. That's the future. That's the future, ladies and gentlemen. But but even though I respect Mark Moss, and he said, you know, Bitcoin will be at 400 million in the next 30 years, and I agree. I agree. However, I still feel that he's being modest still, because I've heard another analyst talk about Bitcoin really being in the billions in the next 20 or 30 years. Bitcoin will be in the billions and double digit billions. And it's amazing that I haven't heard this gentleman uh, all over the mainstream being, or being talked about. What's the people who are all over the mainstream media and that's talking about it? I keep hearing them. I keep seeing them being on all the quote unquote popular platforms. But I'm glad that I captured. I'm glad that I captured this gentleman's take on Bitcoin being in the double digit billions in the next 20 or 30 years because of because he acknowledged the nation FOMO is going to pull in all of the fiat money, all the fiat money systems are going to pour in to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is about independence. It's really shaping up to be real independent. So if countries and nations are looking to acquire Bitcoin to conduct uh, to be independent because they see what it has done for El Salvador, shouldn't we as individuals try and do the same thing? Well, BitHarvest is the beginning of that. We're at ground zero, ladies and gentlemen. We are at zero with BitHarvest, and with this opportunity for the next 30 years, just this one opportunity. This is a Warren Buffett move. BitHarvest is a Warren Buffett move. That's right. It's like having the Coca-Cola stock. It's like having the Google stock. It's like having one of the seven. Imagine having just one of the seven. Well, that's what BitHarvest is. And that's all you had. If you just have one of the seven, well, guess what? BitHarvest is that. All you would need is to be involved with BitHarvest, whether it's at $100 level, $1,000 level, or $100,000 level. However you want to come in, it's up to you. But in the end, everybody wins. Everybody wins over time. Over time, everybody wins. But you gotta be active. You gotta act. You're not gonna win if you're not activating, if you're not moving, if you're not in the game. If you want to just watch me win, that's cool too. Give a thumbs up. We appreciate it. And also, you can hit subscribe. If you like to be entertained, that's fine. Thanks. Welcome all my new subscribers. Bless up. If you want to be a part of the greatest wealth transfer that's happening right now in real life, in real time, check the description box below. If you're already involved with crypto, you know what you're doing. Hey, it's a no-brainer. It's really a no-brainer. And You want all the information is in the back office is free. But if you know what you're doing, hey, get that Bitcoin wherever it is, wherever it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the dip. We're in the dip. Don't wait for Bitcoin to dip because we're already in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are already in it. So let's get it. So let's get it all the way up. But that's all that I'm going to share with you for now, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for more. Keep stacking those sets. We're doing it in our sleep every day. Mining, the new way to mine is going to be Satoshis. And we are going to be the new holders of Satoshis because we're producing it. He who has the Bitcoin wins. And we are mining Bitcoin every day. Who wants some? Bless him.